we have ourselves a game. It's finally time. Two Chinese facing each other after a little bit of a break. Kaho still the enigma. Nobody really knows what he looks like. The Chinese were asking, hey, can you send us a picture? He said, no. And 15 Sway, formerly of the Lao Pao Esports Club, team member of Fortitude, Focus, and Colorful, certainly goes into this as the favorite so far with the human race here. Apparently, another first time ever. That would be the second time then after Life versus Dice. So let's see who gets into the round of 12 versus Sock.
15 Sway as human spawning on the left hand side with an MK first. Very unusual to see everywhere else, but on Echo Isles it's kind of the standard. And normally you expect a Warden first from Night Elves, especially if they're starting on the right hand side. But here it's the Keeper for Kaho. No Warden, no late game powerhouse, but rather a strong early game Keeper of the Grove.
Damn, okay, you can control the Mountain King with that a little bit, but he's also rather squishy, so especially later on, the high-level Storm Bolts will hurt the muscular Keeper quite a bit. Clap, of course, great against Bears if he reaches that level, but first of all, it's all about leveling, it's all about expanding, and it's all about stealing Shadow Priests.
Yeah, Kaho wasn't able to go for that because he was supply blocked at 20 out of 20 there. Oh! Deny on one of the creeps. Ancient of War also in a bit of trouble. Fully takes out a Wisp. Oh! He got the Wisp experience. That means that the MK will be getting level 2 from this game.
Got a Claws of Attack as well. Kinda decent. And level 2 it is. Is it Bash? Is it Clap? Kaho salvaging this situation. 15 Sway. Oh man, quite a favorite as we said, and he's proving why. Very good moves in the early game, and a curveball strategy, not the most common we ever see.
Keeper is continuing to creep, while the MK is moving across the map, trying to be aggressive, has lost quite a bit of health already. But the Shadow Priest can do a bit of healing. Would love to snipe some archers right here with the Stormbolt, but Kaho wisely putting that one back. I saw in the loading screen, by the way, Kaho, it's really high up in MMR at the moment. In excess of 2,400 MMR. Not bad.
And here I am trying to get up to 1,400 MMR. It's rough. But yeah, he's grinding as well. Pretty solid streak he got there. We have Mass Huntress really.
Yeah, Kaho is going super all in. When you don't face an Archmage, when there's no Water Elementals, those Huntresses can be tough for the human to deal with. MK strong in the late game, not so strong early game on low levels. This could be a great strategy. Keeper push with probably APs, maybe Glaives. And 15 Sway might find himself in trouble here soon. Would love to get that Berserker, but didn't pick it up from the opponent.
Kaho got that one, exactly. Yeah, piercing damage would be amazing in the absence of an Archmage, of course. What do you got? You got Stormbolt, you got Footman. And in this case, I guess a Shadow Priest. 15 Sway, can you withstand this pressure? Can you hold on long enough? What he can build, of course, is towers, but will he have them in time?
Also trying to level up a bit more here at the Merc camp. Finds the big item. Ring +4 is actually really good for the Mountain King. More tankiness for him. He's going to be in the front line. And it's more mercenaries as well. Good scout with the militia. Checking outside the main. You really want to ensure no APs come up in the dark and you don't find them quickly enough. The Keeper returned home. Sipped from the Moonwells. Got full mana. And now it's go time. Wisp being brought in as well. And the item he found is perfect. The Scroll of the Beast will be wonderfully helpful for his army, but his army honestly isn't that big yet. 3 hunts, 1 archer, 1 berserker. That's it at the moment.
2 more hunts are coming, just finishing, but of course they have to make it all across the map. Here on Echo Isles is quite a long distance from base to enemy expansion. Still creeping is the Mountain King, once level 3 for the high level Stormbolts. No Demon Hunter, of course, to get rid of that mana. But Creepjack it is. Oh, last it gets him to level 3. So, hammer away, my friend.
That Berserker a little too far forward. Lots of treants here in the mix. Trying to line up the perfect position for the clamp. It's a lot of treants. Stormbolt on the hunters. Oh, it's Stormbolt too. And clap, he doesn't have clap.
Bash. Yes.
It's bash,
Deals
yeah.
with the treants. That's a lot of soaked up damage. That's exactly what the militia do as well. Throw everything into the breach. Both are trying to grind away. Still decent mana on both of these. No tech. Oh, there is a tech by 15 Sway, of course. If that goes through, if he holds on long enough, that's mana potions that he can afford, of course, with that expansion running if he's not getting too heavy into mercenaries. Oh, clarity already. That shop might hold him here, but that's also time for the trees to come in. First AP already up, second one halfway done.
And not too many militia can be called from the main anymore. A lot of them have been called, of course, earlier, and some of them died. Now most peasants on lumber are at the expansion, and lumber, speaking of which, is the problem here. Very low lumber for 15 Sway. You can still afford footies, they only cost gold. Also, you can afford defend. Defend being researched right now. Very important upgrade.
Okay. Peasants safe to the side. Pressure intensifies. Glaives coming. Actually, there's not a... Okay, with one archer and one berserker, it's not too much piercing damage, but yeah, it does help. Tech halfway done.
Blacksmith also soon to finish. That means that then he can go into rifleman if there is enough lumber, and for that I guess he does have enough lumber, just barely. On tier 2 also, potions will become available. So he really wants to make sure he can save this arcane vault, but holding it against the glaives, not so easy, costs a lot of repair, but this arcane vault has to keep standing.
100%. And then what's the second hero gonna be? Something from the tavern? Still lining something up? Panda, Tinker, Beastmaster, or something from the altar like a Blood Mage. But there's not much to siphon, I guess. Trying to go for the glaive throw, but Kaho is ready with repair wisps.
And the Huntress is eating these footies alive, and that was probably a bit too bold from 15 Sway, losing a lot of footmen right there. And he's having to spend so many resources on repair as well. Peasants repairing the town hall is draining a lot of resources out of him. Second Drax now coming, rifle production started, tier 2 about to finish. I like the masonry upgrade. That's a good choice now.
100%. More armor on the buildings, also more mercenaries from the left-hand side, always making sure he gets that. But he doesn't get so far. Is a second hero, nothing at the tavern. Maybe it's... Archmage now for Water Elementals. And of course, later on, the Brilliance Aura that all the humans love so dearly. Kaho is teching as well, so not an all-in just yet.
They may feel that he can't break this base in the end, but it will take out finally now the shop. MK doesn't have any potions, just a Regent's Scroll and Clarity.
And tiny bit of a break. Ay, 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 ay. That is an action-packed early game we got here, Remo.
Yeah, Kaho is willing to play this aggressively, not go into the late game with a normal Warden playstyle. It's a bit of a risk, of course. If this all-in doesn't work, if the expansion survives, he will lose this game. But it's getting pretty close to the wire right now. Town Hall is dropping very low.
Can't really afford to lose this one, but he's up against 2 APs, 3 glaive throwers. Could even think about Blizzard on this Archmage, which was then force and entangle, but you can out-Blizzard the Keeper's disable, I guess. But the lumber is so low that he can't hold on to the repair, and 15 Sway is eventually losing this expansion.
TP's out though with the MK, keeps all the peasants alive. It's a lot of peasants as well. 57 supply already. In the meantime, the infrastructure has come up for 15 Sway. He's got the Sanctum and Priests coming in a moment. He's remaking the shop, and he's got the Barracks. So he's got Rifle Caster now, which is a great army against Huns.
This is, if I see it correctly, 25 peasants. So basically, only half the army is fighting army, which is not that great. But yeah, maybe he can accelerate that momentum, turn it into militia, and counter push. While Keeper getting further ahead. Level 4, heal scroll, makes his way to the tavern. Panda, I guess, is a solid choice.
I think Chaos is still in trouble. If he had an expansion here, I think maybe with superior numbers he could do it. But he's only got tier 1 units. 1-1 upgraded. Fine enough, I guess. but against a fully fleshed out human army on tier 2, these hunts won't stand a chance, especially if he leaves the protecting shadows of the APs.
Richie doesn't yet. No second hero, but an expansion. Plus lores. On the other side, he needs a tier 3 then, because 15 Sway is going so heavy into piercing damage and also siege damage. This army of 15 Sway is gonna be scary in no time.
Yeah, Kaho is kind of walking back and forth, wondering if he can do something with his glaives here. Still, he looks a bit indecisive right now. He's waiting for the Tree of Life to finish. It's coming up in the south. It's about halfway through, but then still has to walk on over. Dryads also will be added in soon, but those Dryads will be suffering against the rifles just as much as the Huntresses.
Do you think Kaho should expand on the spot? Or is it better to go for the bottom right? Because militia pushes are a little bit too good on Echo Isles from upper left to bottom left.
Yeah, I think over there is better. He also keeps his option available of going for hit and run. Hitting the human main base, killing some workers maybe, and then falling back, and then his own expansion being far away from that on the other side of the map. It's a tough game though for Kaho. He realizes he can't really take a fight if he's not next to his APs, but he is right now next to the Ancient Protectors and will take a fight here. But we have now mortar teams as well for siege damage.
But no second hero for Kaho. Lightning shield on the Huntress, that's kind of nice. It's so many militia. This meat grinder, oh my god. Mortar teams take this out. We got splatter GD, siege everywhere on glaives and mortars, but yeah, he has to give this position up. That's 2 APs down, that's a Moonwell down, that's some Hunts down, and that is 15 Sway reclaiming the bottom left.
A town is under siege.
And he's got enough gold to remake that expansion as well. There we go. Town Hall being set up. He was kind of broke here, or is broke now with that power build coming. It's a lot of power build, by the way. I don't even know if you can fully pull through with that. But he's also got a strong army right now. MK leading the charge with level 4.7, close to 5. AM close to 3. And the Keeper, even if he gets level 5, not sure how much that's gonna do, as he's just gonna get dispelled.
Yeah, that is indeed a problem. That's why I was hoping for a tier 2 hero relatively soon, but he rather went into Dryads, but I really question this Dryad choice. It's double Rex rifles plus mortar teams plus water elementals. It's just a natural counter.
I guess he's stuck between a rock and a hard place. Like, what's he gonna make? Hunts are bad, archers are bad, Dryads are bad. Like, MGs, in theory, would be good, but for that to be 2 base economy and would probably just take too long. That's the downside of playing this Keeper Hunts all in. Even if you kill the Expo, doesn't mean that it wins you the game.
Yeah. I mean, he does have the 2 base economy now. We could question for how long. You could build Mountain Giants already and then upgrade later and then push, but then you lose a lot of resources to upkeep. Trying to distract, trying to catch reinforcements, which is a smart move, but 15 Sway is giving him nothing.
Glaives now joining in. Of course, they're pretty slow movement speed-wise, but they pose as a serious threat against the buildings with the siege damage. 15 Sway didn't buy a TP. Oh, wow. Wait a minute. It's very dangerous. He's using quite a bit of infrastructure already.
Okay, we're getting into a somewhat base race. Workshop gone, farm gone, lots of militia going down as well to all the treants, because now there's of course no dispel. On the other side, Tree of Life going down, despite him having Nature's Blessing. Or is it? Is it? Oh, last mortar shot. And takes care of his base as well. So 2 base, 1 base advantage, 15 Sway.
He's getting Flare as well from the mortar teams. That's giving him some good vision right now. Could also Flare the Nile of main base. There he would figure out that there's no tier 3 in sight. Only tier 2 low lumber as well for Kaho. He's re-expanding once more. But that's going to take a long time here for this expansion to be entangled again. And Kaho is playing the hit and run. Like he has to. He has to dart back and forth between the bases. Look for economic damage as he still can't take a fight.
This is rough, but almost no fortification by 15 Sway. That arcane, but yeah, no guards. He's seriously playing this keeper only. I cannot believe my eyes. The glaives doing more damage to the main. There was a water elemental supposed to stop exactly that, but that expired, so bye-bye Rax.
He does have a second one though, so it's not that painful. More upgrades coming as well from the blacksmith. And now Kaho is trying to take the fight. As Archmage isn't in the south, he's trying to go in and do big damage, but also the Dryads are suffering in the meantime. MK did get level 5 here just a moment ago. He's getting a lot of solo experience here, potentially. The Stormbolt against the Huntress is a death sentence every time. And a bit of bash against the Dryads is also not too bad.
Heal Scroll was well positioned, but can't save that Berserker. Dryads are falling left, right, and center. These Mortar teams are doing a phenomenal job. And yeah, we questioned the Dryads, and I guess we were proven right. Trying to split them now against the Mortar shots. This Slow is coming in, but Kaho sees there's no way out. And the favorite 15 Sway prevails on map 1.
The unusual keeper playstyle here didn't quite come to fruition. Seems like maybe this push was a bit too late. The tech already started fairly early on for 15 Sway. He was getting as many resources out of the expansion as he could, let it fall smartly, tactically, and then stabilized on one base. And once the human is ready fully with a second hero and tier 2 tech with priests, then this Hunter's army is just simply a joke.
Yeah, looked like it. Can he hold this a little bit better with the Panda? I'm not too sure. Maybe a faster tech would have been better instead of this expansion. It's hard to say. There were many options and none of these options is really that great. So poor Kaho. His initial plan to break that expo worked, but then he just had simply not the right follow-up. And let's see if we can do it better now on map 2, where we have Tidehunters.
And that is normally a pretty comfortable map for humans as well. We saw that yesterday already, right? With a fast expansion there normally coming up pretty easily. Orange into natural at the easy gold mine normally seems to lead to a safe early game, which is one of the most important things that the humans want to get going.
Let's see if this works. We saw it plenty of times before. If you can get that Arcane Tower up on this very map, it's so good and helps to prevent a lot of damage to your expansions. But that is easier said than done. Archers are very good against that. Keeper is very good against that. A lot of stuff is very good against that. So can 15 Sway establish that expo? Does he have a very different plan? He definitely has match points.
Would be quite something if now Kaho busts out the Warden. Playing Warden here and Keeper on Echoes, that would be weird, but very unlikely. Should certainly be a Keeper here as well. Creeping up quickly for his own counter expansion is the norm that we see there. Followed up with a bit of harass against the peasants perhaps after. A fast level 3 is what you really want to make sure you get here with the Keeper, because otherwise dealing with those footman numbers is going to be pretty tough.
Keeper it is, and this time 15 Sway goes back to the norm and plays Archmage first. Water Elementals very, very, very good for creeping, for scouting. Not too much against archers, but if there's the Huntress all in, they can almost carry the defense alone. But also reaching level 3 is a little bit of an issue. What we do have here, what we don't have on Echo Isles, is the marketplace. Human love to pimp their Archmage early for good damage. We saw this of Chemico yesterday. Different matchup, but you know, almost the same effect.
A player's forces are under attack.
Remember that Turtle Rock game? Archmage plus 12 damage. Red camp first, creep camp.
Carson is still laughing. That's why he's not here.
Oh, that was so good, dude.
I think I've never seen Carson having so much fun in a Warcraft game.
He sounded like he just kind of, you know, his brain malfunctioned for a little bit there. That was a good time. That was a good time. That was a fun map that we saw there. 15 Sway's Archmage here, also hoping for the claws. It wouldn't be the plus 12, rather plus 5. Is going for the natural instantly. That is unusual to see. Normally it's always this orange outside the main into natural, but here he wants to go for the expansion right away. Won't quite be level 2. It's gonna need a little bit more.
Okay, needs to steal somewhere. Gloves of attack for Kaho, gloves of haste for 15 sway. Gloves of haste. Oh man, DPS by Kaho skyrocketing quite a bit early on. As we have a lot of movement across the map.
Are under attack.
Both want to shut down their opponent's early game plans.
Expansion not quite coming up yet. Peasants now starting the power build. How much damage can the Keeper here do with the Treants? Being summoned in the back, perfect position on the Treants, but the Peasants also quickly being repositioned. Oh, okay, he's messing up with the one Peasant, but the rest being trying to be saved.
Lots of mana
That's going to be at
invested
least
already.
2 Peasant kills, maybe 3 Peasant kills. Not looking too bad for Kaho.
Yeah, crucial moments right there. Another peasant going down, of course exchanging for a lot of mana, but it's nighttime now, you can exchange that mana early. Not that easy to exchange these peasants. 15 sway continues to suffer, the power build is gone, the tower is delayed, but due to the low mana, Kaho feels uncomfortable staying there with archers. Even though it's night, so retreating, buying some time, but the archers are just a fake, are just a decoy as the Keeper's coming in again.
Only 200 HP left on the Keeper. He's going to have to run here before too long. One more set of Treants gets him one more kill at least, but I think nothing more will be gained from these Treants. Now Keeper has to fall back, and I wouldn't be too surprised to see a Tele Staff on the Keeper. I've heard Night Elves like that item quite a bit, actually.
It is a nice way. If I had access to a telestaff, I would 100% use all the donations we get here to get that telestaff. No walking anymore with only a 90-second cooldown, 2-minute cooldown, whatever it is.
Yeah, imagine like 2-minute cooldown. You can teleport anywhere where you have vision. That means you turn on the TV and whatever you see, you staff there. On
Dude,
a 2-minute
Google
cooldown.
Maps. You don't need a TV. Just go Google Maps. Wonderful. It'd be nice if it works also with time travel like that.
Don't get me started on time travel, Neo. That ruins half the movies in the world for me.
Oh, dude. I could get started about Star Trek now. Yay.
Yeah, I've heard some funny things about Star Trek. And you know Red Letter Media, right?
Yeah, it's amazing.
I watched their reviews of Star Trek Discovery and Picard, and it's so good. I've never seen any of the TV shows, the new ones.
Is that the
I've seen their
Plisket
commentary.
reviews or whatever it's called, or normal reviews?
Normal reviews. Mr. Plinkett is
Mr.
only
Plinkett,
rare.
yes. Oh man, he's the greatest. Anyway, we finally have a second hero, and that's the Panda. And he's gonna try to ignite that expansion.
And no counter expansion yet by Kaho. Ah, but it's coming here, right? Yeah, it's the Tree of Life coming proxy in the standard position. Archmage got level 3. That was important. Got one of Illusion as well. But the tech is certainly far slower for 15 sway. Of course, the human will always be teching slower with a fast expansion like this, but this tech speed seems to be indeed quite far behind.
Values stability a little higher then. Guard towers are an option now with the lumber mill. I feel like human got a little better by balancing their resources. We don't see the 1500 gold 50 lumber humans too often anymore. But yeah, it's gonna be not that easy to break that one. Interesting blacksmith positioning. Not getting rid of much surface on the town hall. Only one tower. And Keeper, man, these Treants. Pesky Treants.
Archmage is looking for the expansion. There he finds it. I've seen quite a few games where this Tree of Life is being caught in transit in the water where it can't root. You have to be wary about that. But it's also a Creepjack up on the high ground. Kaho under pressure. This is a stressful moment for him. Wisp being taken out right away. You don't want to lose the Shredder. You don't want to lose the Shredder. That was very expensive.
That illusion blocked by the Archmage. Can't pass that horse. Oh my, that's so expensive. Shredder down, Engine of War down. Another Wisp falling as well. What a move by 15 Sway.
It's looking like a bit of a disaster now here for Kaho. The Tree of Life is finally arriving at the gold mine, but no nature's blessing, man. It's taking a hot minute.
There's
And
still
15 Sway is
creeps.
about to reach tier 2. Great game so far for 15 Sway. I would say the only mistake he made is not having made enough peasants at the expo. We only see 4 on lumber. That's the one thing that he was kind of sleeping on a bit.
Yeah, it is a rough game, and things are only getting better for 15 Sway here. Panda, not a crucial level for Kaho at all. How do you get out of this now? I mean, you have to buy time. You gotta stop that 70 supply death push, but how?
Yeah, that's a good question. Buy time, get up bears, and get lots of them, I guess is one way to do it. Kaho almost has the resources now to start the tier 3 tech and start mining at the expansion as well in a moment. But at the moment we also see a brawl going towards the human main base. Kaho must remember to load up wisps into that entangled.
That is a fundamental for this expansion to work off 100%. He keeps the panda from creeping, which is kinda nice, like the opposite panda that is. But yeah, his progress is way more important. Nice deny, 15 Sway with attention to detail as well. But yeah, how much longer? Rifles coming, 3 of them queued! Second Sanctum up, just waiting for the workshop.
We got abolished magic now, so these water elementals won't be doing much for a while here. 15 Sway still sitting at 50 supply, more or less. And Kaho is looking for an opening, looking to do big damage. The peasants here could certainly be easily attacked. No wall of this expansion.
Oh wow. Dryads usually not that great against bases, but if the base is far open, they can do quite some damage to the arcane tower because it's not fortified, it's just heavy armor. What? I guess it's still okay. Just a couple of peasants? And he is indeed buying time. But 4 out of 5. Ah, there we go.
Forces are under attack.
It's kind of working out for Kaho. He's playing a little bit reminiscent of what Foggy did yesterday. Lots of dryads, lots of hit and run, try to avoid fights for a long time. He's not going tier 3 until just now. So bears will be late and will be in short supply, especially if he keeps on making more dryads. We got 5 at the moment, 2 more will be joining, and many more after, possibly. And 15 Sway is really low on lumber. Not having made more peasants earlier is really hurting him here.
I cursed him, didn't I? Saying, oh, you got a lot better with the lumber. Meh, 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 meh. Here he is proving me wrong. It's one of these days, Remo.
A town is under siege.
He didn't have long rifles until now. Finally, the rifles have 600 range. On 400, they always feel a little underwhelming. I like the split now. Archmage at the expansion, ready to defend there against treants and such. And the panda and the rifles chasing around the dryads. And this panda, of course, wants to creep. No experience so far on Mojo Darkgale.
Yeah, he learned nothing in 2 minutes. Unbelievable. Like Kaho taking experience off the map for 15 Sway. I like that move. Save some for later when he maybe defends the first push. Panda level 2, not the greatest item. And that is big camps that Kaho is stealing here.
Big experience as well. It's going to be level 3 for him in just a moment. This way, moving now into the middle of the map. Wants to take out this marketplace. There's a big consumable here for him to be found. And actually, every single one here is good. Even the wand, even the scroll of the beast. And could even perhaps go for some items if he wants. But he's being attacked in the main base. It's no wall off. It's open season towards the economy. But this way is not TPing back. He's going for the counterattack.
On the expansion, that will force a retreat for sure. And Kaho, are you ready? I'm not Michael Buffer, but I'm asking the same question. Lots of echo damage done, but there's no Master Bears. Oh, he's researching Nature's Blessing here. How unfortunate. He's certainly gonna lose that tree. And again, 15 Sway shutting down Kaho's Expo and is in a very good spot.
And 15 Sway not even TPing back home. Now he says, well, if I'm here already, why not go further and hit you in the main base?
He can hit him pretty much everywhere unpunished. Couple of workers going down, but that's really not an issue. You got 1,000 gold, 300 lumber. Economy is suffering. At the moment, he's at 1 base, but it's totally fine because his opponent is also on 1 base. So, tier 3 now reached, but none of the upgrades is finished yet.
Oh, he destroyed the shop shortly before the Orb of Venom could be purchased. Oh, that would have been such a big damage upgrade. Pretty good positioning on the Dryads, so the White Arch, and they can micro back pretty well. Drunken Haze, Breath of Fire, big damage against this human army. Here comes the Heal Scroll and the Dispel against it. Seems like 15 Sway will have to TP out here before too long. He's got a supply lead still, but with the Bears streaming in, side of army not to be underestimated. Oh, but the Dryads going way too deep. Going in way too deep. And they get sniped 1 by 1.
Easy snipes for the rifles indeed. Now the TP out as he's starting to lose some rifles to Entangle, but also another archer. 38 supply left, but also 1,300 gold. Is he able to make that bear transition finally? The master training is done. He's resupplying on Dryads first, maybe for some additional run-bys, but that gives also 15 Sway some more time. Economy in the base re-established. We did add a workshop now. 1 rifle is stuck, as human for some reason always have to get units stuck in their bases. But the pendulum just swings back. 15 Sway going for the 2-0.
A player's forces are under attack.
And there's not too much for Kaho at home to defend. Just 1 bear and a few Dryads and archers won't be able to hold by themselves. Keeper and Panda doing economic damage in the meantime, but 15 Sway's not very rich. Wait, how did the rifle get out?
Willpower.
Did he teleport? Blink dagger? What happened? Ah! Zeppelin! That's how.
Okay. Well, Kaho is under pressure, so like imagine he had the shredder earlier. This situation would have never been a thing, as he's floating in gold, but very, very short on lumber. Kaho level 4. Alright, will that change too much? I doubt it. Drunken Haze, Breath of Fire, also nice. But it's almost 60 supply knocking at his door.
Not having the Orb of Venom here once again hurts quite badly. The Moon just is trying to do as much as it can, but they're also lumber lacking, means no super wells, no wellspring upgrade. Dude, this Shredder kill was just so devastating. And 15 Sway's army is not that huge yet, but it seems to be just big enough.
Yeah, and that's of course a big advantage for 15 Sway in these matchups. He's playing human, of course, but he's also playing Night Elf, so he knows all the timings and all the weaknesses. Nice Zeppelin micro here. Try to go to the high ground, maybe a little, well, not that great. Panda is bringing the heat, is doing the damage. But in the long run, I think the trades are very, very, very favorable for 15 Sway, and Kaho, the Enigma, about to tap out.
He's on his last leg over here. The Keeper about to drop Breath of Fire, right clicks. He falls, and so does Kaho. Falls into oblivion out of the tournament. And 15 Sway moves on.
With a clean 2-0. He was sweating a little bit on both of these early games, but brought it back magnificently on Echo Isles with the counter push when he knew pretty much the perfect timing and how far to take it and where to defend and how long. Same situation here, withstood the first pressure. We're taking a couple of hits, but then counter aggression, very, very good. Getting this economy rolling, having the earlier tech, and then just snowballing super hard.
Yeah, absolutely. And now, in the next round, we're going to have Sok against 15 Sway in the decider. That should, once again, be a human versus Night Elf, unless 15 Sway wants to play Human Mirror. But that would be very surprising. Should be him now switching towards Night Elf and give us another fun human versus Night Elf then.
Wonderful. We love this matchup quite a bit. We'll see if the maps are changing a little bit. 15 Sway, one step away from the round of 8. He has some impressive results recently. In AWL, this was pretty good when he took down Moon in a mirror match. He's getting into these round of 8, round of 4s a lot more often, and that is of course a big chance. Sok, It's not going to be easy for him. It's also getting later and later in Korea with the little bit of a delay we had here. Shout out to Kaho for showing up, for giving 15 Sway a good fight, but wasn't enough just yet. Hopefully we see him back next season. We do have a couple of supporters here, if I see this correctly, as our prize pool has been boosted. $39 short of the big 4K, as Mr. Lin is contributing. The Lin, the legendary best orc in the world of all times, Lin, buying a War3Champions profile picture and also an orc profile picture.
Very cool. Even if unfortunately we don't have him participating in this tournament, he's still here with us in spirit and in support. Shout out to Lin, the greatest orc of all time.
There we go. If you want to be as cool as Lin, buy one of these profile pictures. Upper left hand side, the War3Champion one, third from the left, the orc one, or grab anything you like. If you like Back to Warcraft, grab one of our profile pictures, or for the human, the night elves, the orcs, or the undead, especially night elves and orcs. Not represented well enough as human and undead. You can improve on your lead, increase the lead you got on the other races. It's a tough race between human and undead, as it oftentimes is. War3Champions, absolutely amazing. The best server we ever had for this wonderful game. Go check out their homepage, W3Champions.com, for all the information and all the ways to support them. They are, as so often, looking for new developers. It is a tough job, but it's also so much fun if things work out that way. They are looking for people who can code for them, or with them rather, and their stack includes C#, .NET, TypeScript, jQuery, Rust, Node, Express, Vue.js, and Python. And of course, if you want to improve the homepage, you can hit them up as well on their War3Champions Discord. Call Safit or any of the boys or girls, and then we make War3Champions even better than they already are. Little bit of a break, and then the final one-on-one of the day before we move into the FFA. Suck versus 15 Sway